scallop shell, find hundreds of those, little bits of bones, so I don't know where they got the scallops from, but was it with Mersey, they're cleaning them.
Have you heard the story of the bankers in Paul? Well, Wiliamson was an eccentric character. He gave work to a lot of people to rent the tunnels that just went round the block. A lot of business people couldn't understand his motives, so we decided to have dinner at his home. He invited all these well-to-do people, and when they all turned up, when the meal was laid out, it was bacon and beans and a bowl of soup. And a few people thought, oh no, come on, let's go. They disappeared. And then he said to those that remained, he said, right, you've now shown yourselves to be my true friends. Leave that, follow me. And off they went into the banqueting hall, and there they had a meal fit for a king. So that's a nice story. And his wife, who didn't have any children, she died on the 3rd of October 1822. She buried in the family crypt. He died on the 1st of May 1840, and he was the last one to go in the crypt. And the church was demolished in 1906, and nobody would be responsible for any of the graves, so they just levelled it all. And it's been a car park for years. And it's where the Grogan and Henderson site is now in Liverpool. They're going to leave the graveyard as a sort of a garden. They can't disinter old graves because some old act has been passed. You can't. You've got to reinter the remains in consecrated ground, so just not bothered. Right, that's going to be a garden. So one day we might get a plaque to say that Joseph Wiliamson's grave's underneath here, and this is what he did. So everyone else seems to get a blue plaque, don't they?
Well, worth less than him as well.
Is it what?
And they're worth less than him.
Oh,
what
yeah. What Wiliamson did for this city, he gave hundreds of labourers a job, and they were able to take their skills off to other people and went to trustees and build their ways. So he probably changed the course of history because he more or less developed tunneling engineering.
I've got a fascinating book at home called Eccentrics, and it'd be nice to hope that there's some mention of him in that.
It's not by a fellow called Richard Whittington Egan, is it?
No, it's Jamie James and David Weeks.
Oh, right.
Got a fish on the front cover.
There is a book called Eccentrics of Merseyside by Richard Whittington Egan. Joseph Wiliamson's got a whole chapter to himself. Fascinating reading. He wasn't eccentric, but look what he did. And when his goods were auctioned off when he died, the auctioneer, his housekeeper got the house because that's what he wanted. And there was nothing left. He had no family to leave it to. The remains of his business had been swallowed up by all this money being blown. So Henderson went off and he just kept his own for the company. And his goods were auctioned off, more befitting an animal than a laird, and a man was standing in the city. And yet when the Prince of Wales, who was later to become George II, visited the city in 1805, when he got back in his carriage, he shook Joseph Wiliamson's hand and he said, "You're the only gentleman I met here. Right, lad, take me back to London and off he went."
Wow.
Amazing. Must have made an impression on people.
Yeah.
Good.